Welcome to medicinal biochemistry class on nucleic acid metabolism. So today we will learn about the damage that happens during DNA replication. So what we call it as a mutation and its repair mechanism. DNA has a very well designed repair mechanism, and so the DNA mutation can also occur. The DNA can be damaged by external sources as well. So that also we will look into it in today's class. Okay. At the end of this class, the student shall be able to define mutation, explain different types of mutation, explain mutagenesis, explain causes of mutation, explain DNA repair mechanisms. Okay. So damaged DNA must be repaired. If it is not repaired, so that can cause certain diseases, or it can trouble, or it can cause impairment of protein synthesis. Okay, so there are many consequences. So that is, it must be repaired. So if damage is to the somatic cells, that is cells except sperm and egg cells, then only one individual is affected, so that it is not carried to the next generation. Okay. If the damage is to the germ cells, if the DNA damage is to the germ cells like gametes, that is eggs and sperms, it is passed on to the subsequent generation, then it is known as mutation. Okay, so if the DNA damage is carried to the next generation, so then it is known as mutation. Okay, so a mutation may arise during replication or during recombination. Is a permanent change in the nucleotide sequence of DNA. It is a permanent change. Mutations, for most part, they are harmless many times, but when they lead to cell death or tumor formation, they cause trouble. Okay. Because of its lethal potential of DNA mutations, cells have evolved mechanisms for repairing the damaged DNA. So that is the protective or defense of a cell to this mutation. Okay. So the different types of mutations. Okay. So there are three major types of mutations. So that is base substitution, deletion, and insertion. So we'll look into it one by one. So that is a base substitution. So here, that is a single base substitution are called point mutation. That is in DNA, one nitrogen base is replaced by another one. Okay. So one of the nitrogen base will be replaced by another one. So that when there is a single base substitution, it is called as point mutation. So these are the most common type of mutation. That is, point mutation is the most common type of mutation. So there are two types of point mutation. One is transition and another one is transversion. So transition, here what happens is, so a purine is substituted with another purine, or a pyrimidine is substituted with another pyrimidine. A purine here, adenine, is substituted with guanine. Thymine is substituted with cytosine. So that type of point mutation is called as transition. Okay, in case of transversion, a purine is substituted for pyrimidine, or a pyrimidine replaces a purine. So here, thiamine, a pyrimidine, is replaced by either adenine or guanine, or cytosine, a pyrimidine, can be replaced by guanine or adenine. Similarly, adenine, a purine, can be replaced by thiamine or cytosine, or a guanine can be replaced by cytosine or thiamine. So these such mutations, point mutations, are called as transversions. Okay, what happens when point mutation happens? Consequences. Okay, point mutations that occur in DNA sequences encoding proteins are either silent mutations, missense mutation, or nonsense mutation. Okay, so point mutation can lead to silent mutation, missense mutation, or nonsense mutation. We will define these three things. So silent mutation, if a base substitution occurs in the third position of the codon, so what we call it as obel position. Okay, in the third position of codon, so there is a good chance that synonymous codon will be generated. That is, so there will be no change in the amino acid that is coded. Okay, so such an mutation is called as a silent mutation. Silent mutation means there will be change in the nitrogen base in the codon, but that does not make any difference in the protein synthesis. Okay, so the amino acid sequence encoded by the gene is not changed and the mutation is said to be silent. So here, for example, so TTC, so at DNA, so mRNA that is synthesized from this is will be carrying AAG codon. So this codes for lysine. So if in this guanine is replaced with one more adenine, so AAA, so this also codes for lysine. So this does not make any difference in the protein synthesis, and such mutation is called as silent mutation. Okay, missense mutation. So that is when the base substitution result in generation of a codon that specifies a different amino acids. Okay, so that will, when the codon is changed, a different amino acid is synthesized. So this leads to a synthesis of different polypeptide sequence, or it can lead to faulty protein. Okay, so such mutation is called as missense mutation. Okay, so depending on the type of amino acid substitution, the missense mutation is either conservative or non-conservative. Okay, so here conservative means if the structure and properties of the substituted amino acid are very similar to the original amino acid, so the mutation is said to be conservative. So there will not be much difference in the amino acid, the new amino acid, and the amino acid that it had to be coded. Okay, so this will have little effect on the resultant protein structure and function. So if this mutation is non-conservative, in this case the substitution leads to an amino acid with very different structure and properties. So the mutation is non-conservative, and this can have some bad effects or deleterious effect for the resultant protein structure and function. Like example, so the sickle cell anemia. So this is caused by point mutation. So okay, we will look into that in the next slide. So here the conservative AGG codon, so that is AAG should have been the original codon. So this has been mutated to AGG, so it will synthesize arginine. So the structural difference is only there are 3 amino groups and here 1 amino group. Okay, so if the first codon thiamine is replaced with adenine, so then this becomes a non-conservative mutation, because this will code for threonine, which is a completely different structure than lysine. Okay, so sickle cell anemia is a point mutation, so is a non-conservative type of point mutation. So this happens in the hemoglobin gene. So here sickle cell hemoglobin causes RBCs to form sickle shaped. Okay, so this is a disorder, and this will prepare impaired RBCs. So here, like for example, the normal gene, so where the mutation happens is, so here in the normal gene it will be containing GAG and its complementary strand CTC. Okay, so RNA contains GAG, so it will code for glutamate. Okay, so in sickle cell mutation, so here what happens is the point mutation will occur. So adenine is replaced with thiamine. So this will lead to its complementary strand CAC rather than CTC, and the RNA strand will be GUG rather than GAG. So this will code for valine. Okay, so this leads to the formation of this leads to sickle cell anemia. Okay, so that is so it will shrink the RBCs. Okay, so people when inherit one sickle cell gene, so and one normal gene, so they will have sickle cell trait. That is, they have the ability to transfer this gene to their offspring, but they themselves will not suffer from sickle cell anemia. But if the two genes are affected, both the genes are affected, then the patient will exhibit or express this sickle cell anemia disease. Okay. So the next thing is nonsense mutation. Nonsense mutation means like, so this will lead to the formation of stop codon. So the mutation will lead to the formation of stop codon. So this will terminate the translation process prematurely. Okay. So then this will lead to non-functional protein. Okay. So like for example, so the AAG mRNA codon will code for a lysine. So if this adenine is replaced with uracil, so this will stop the whole translation process there itself in the middle. Okay. So that is about substitutions. And so the next thing is deletion of codons. So mutation due to deletion of codon. So here what happens is a section of codon is lost or deleted. So for example, so over here, so this part of codon gets deleted. Okay, so due to that what happens, so the amino acids that had to be coded from this codon will not be present in the protein. Okay. So insertions. So in case of insertion, so what happens is extra base pairs are inserted into a new pair. Like for example, so these base pairs are inserted over here at this place. Okay. So in the DNA. So this will code for extra codons or so a different set of codons. Okay. So what are the consequences of this deletion and insertion mutation? So this will lead to a type of mutation, what we call it as frame shift mutation. Insertion and deletion of mutation, so that occur in DNA sequences are called as what? Frame shift mutations. Why we call this as frame shift means, so like for example, so this is the normal mRNA. So this is the normal mRNA. So here you have, here we are representing around 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 codons. Okay. So each 3 nucleotide bases represents 1 codon. So here AUG, AAG, UUU, GGC and UUA. So here each 3 codon, if we consider this as one frame, so there are 5 frames. So the first frame codes for methionine, second frame codes for lysine, third frame codes for phenylalanine, fourth frame codes for glycine, and fifth frame is a stop codon. So if uracil is removed, okay, so that is the 7th base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So if this is removed, then what happens is, so there is a disturbance in the frames. Okay, so here the first frame is maintained intact, the second frame is maintained intact, but the third frame, so here uracil should have been there, so that is removed. So the third frame, rather than it being UUU, it becomes UUG. So it codes for leucine. So the fourth frame will code for alanine rather than glycine. Okay. So this will affect the protein synthesis due to the shift in the frame. Oh, okay. So then the next thing is base pair insertion. Suppose for example you are going to insert uracil after the first frame. So then what happens? It will change the, it will shift the frame towards right. So here, so the first frame will code for methionine. So the second frame, rather than being AAG, it becomes UAA, it becomes the stop codon. So it will stop the protein synthesis there itself. Okay. So the frame shift mutation involves the insertion or deletion of a nucleotide. So the number of deleted base pair is not divisible by 3. So here the number of deleted base pairs are not divisible by 3. It can delete or insert more 1, 2 or 4 or 5 or 7, okay, nitrogen bases. So why it is important to be divisible by 3? Because the cell reads gene in groups of 3. Okay, so like if you are inserting 2 new base pairs, then what happens? The whole amino, that is nucleotide sequence or codon, gets disturbed due to the shifting of frames. Okay, each group of 3 bases corresponds to one of the 20 amino acids that is used to build a protein. If mutation disrupts this reading frame, so then what happens? The entire DNA sequence following the mutation will be read incorrectly. So that can synthesize a different protein, or the translation process can be stopped in prematurely. Okay. So mutagenesis. So the factor that causes mutation. Okay. So the factor or the reason for the mutation is called as a mutagen. Okay. So mutagenesis can be because of errors in DNA replication, or errors in DNA recombination process, or there might be damage to DNA due to certain chemicals, or DNA can be damaged due to radiation. Okay. And there are like spontaneous mutation that happen without effect of any mutagens. Okay. So the first mutagen, so that is errors in DNA replication. So during the replication process, that is DNA polymerase will incorporate many non-complementary bases into the daughter strand. So it does many errors. Okay. So if it is not corrected, so during the next round of replication, what happens? The misincorporated base would lead to mutation. Okay. So this happens very rare. So the second step happens very rarely. So the non-complementary bases that are incorporated are corrected before it undergoes replication. Okay, so next round of replication. Okay, so it is corrected by proofreading and repair mechanism. Okay, so it is corrected by proofreading and repair mechanism. So DNA often rearranges itself by a process called as a recombination. Okay, errors in DNA recombination, mutation due to errors in DNA recombination. So it often rearranges itself. So what we call it as a recombination, which proceeds by variety of mechanisms. So occasionally DNA is lost during the replication, leading to a mutation. Okay, so during this recombination, replication and recombination, what happens is, so it can mess up, and it can lead to mutation. Okay. So chemical damage, so that is mutation due to chemical damage to DNA. So certain chemicals are capable of damaging DNA. So many chemotherapeutic drugs and intercalating agents, so that is drug function by damaging the DNA. So there are many chemotherapeutic agents that target the DNA of infecting organisms. Okay, usually methyl and ethyl groups are added to the DNA bases. So they add a methyl or ethyl group, and that leads to what? So that is improper coding. Okay, so this type of damage can be repaired by direct reversal involving a special set of enzymes to carry out that process. So they remove the offending atoms and restore the base. Okay, so what they do is these enzymes will remove the atoms that are added during mutation, and they restore the original base. Okay. So mutation due to radiation. So excessive, that is frequent exposure or high frequency exposure of radiations like gamma rays, X-rays, and even UV light can interact with the compounds in the cell. So and that leads to generation of free radicals and cause chemical changes to DNA. So this can lead to what? Mutation. Okay. And spontaneous mutation, so this arises without any mutagenic agent. So this is just a spontaneous change. So the error is corrected by proofreading and repair mechanism. Spontaneous mutations are corrected by proofreading and repair mechanism. Okay. So deamination and depurination, so that is removal of purine, occur due to hydrolysis even in absence of any mutagenic agent. So that is an example of spontaneous mutations. We'll look in detail about these two processes. Okay. So causes of mutations. What are the causes of mutations? So that is incorrect base pairing due to tautomeric shift, removal of nitrogen bases, alteration of nitrogen bases, addition or deletion of nucleotides, single strand breaks, double strand breaks, and cross-linking or covalent linkage between bases. Okay, incorrect base pairing. So that is during DNA replication, bases may accidentally pair incorrectly. Okay, like for example, adenine might mistakenly pair with cytosine, wherein it has to pair with thiamine. Okay, so the repair enzymes normally replace the incorrect base with the correct one. Okay, so if it is not repaired, it results in complementary base pair consisting of what? Wrong nucleotides. Okay, so here you have original DNA CGATTA. So here if this thiamine, if this adenine is paired with cytosine, what happens? This leads to incorrect pairing. So if this incorrectly paired DNA replicates, what happens? One molecule, so which carries this strand CAT. Okay, so one molecule which carries this strand will, that is original, identical to the original strand. So this will produce the correct DNA, whereas the other strand which is faulty, so where thiamine should have been there, it is carrying cytosine. So here what happens? It will produce a different DNA than what is expected. Okay, so rather than here AT, it will produce GC. Okay, so this will code for valine, GUA will code for valine, and whereas GCA will code for alanine. Okay, so here different amino acids are coded in this case. Okay, so the next thing is a removal of nitrogen bases. Okay, so the base is simply removed out of the DNA molecule, and this leads to creation of a gap. Like for example, depurination. So here in this adenine molecule, so the purine molecule adenine is simply removed from the DNA strand. So depurination. So this will leave a gap here. Okay, so due to this, what happens? So the new strand that is formed over here will have a gap over here. Okay, so it will have one pair of nitrogen bases less. Okay, so the other strand where it is identical to original, it will produce unchanged daughter DNA. Okay, so or new DNA helix. Okay, whereas this becomes the mutated DNA. Okay, so depurination is a spontaneous mutation that occurs when nucleoside loses a purine base. Okay, so then alteration of nitrogen bases. So a base is altered so that it specifically mispair with another base. Okay, like deamination of cytosine to form uracil. So deamination is a spontaneous mutation that occurs when the amine group is removed from the nitrogen bases. Okay, nitrogenous base. When an amine group of cytosine is removed, the base will get converted to uracil. So here you have, so cytosine, the amine group is replaced with oxygen. So this will get converted from cytosine to uracil due to deamination. Okay, so here what happens? So again here, when in the DNA strand, when the cytosine is deaminated, it gets converted to uracil, and when it further replicates, what happens? It produces one faulty DNA with and one unchanged DNA strand. Okay, so the most common mutation in human cells is, that is, conversion of cytosine to uracil, CT transition. This type of mutation is also found very frequently in human tumors. Okay, so the next thing is addition or deletion of nucleotides. So this is the frame shift sort of mutation. So this is a frame shift mutation, what we call. So this is the original DNA or mRNA, sorry. So here, so there are around 5 codes as we have discussed previously. So there are 5 set of codons. So each set of codon is considered as a frame. So when you delete an nitrogen bases from this mRNA, what happens? So there is a disturbance in the set of codons. So that is what we call it as frame shift mutation. Okay, so when it is deleted, what happens? So again, so here the place where it is deleted, so then the codon sequence will change. So here where this codon should have been UUU, it will become UUG, and rather than coding for phenylalanine, it will code for leucine. Okay, similar thing happens when you add an extra nitrogen base in the mRNA sequence or in the DNA. So that will lead to an different set of mRNA codons. Okay, so the genetic codon will become different, and it can lead to different amino acid synthesis or formation of stop codon, which can lead to premature stoppage of translation process. Okay, so this leads to frame shift mutation, disrupts the reading frame. So then the entire DNA sequence following the mutation will be read incorrectly. Okay, so the next thing is single strand breaks. Single strand breaks are the most common form of DNA damage. So this arises from direct attack by intracellular metabolites and from spontaneous DNA decay due to aging of DNA. Okay, only one of the 2 strands of the double helix will be damaged, or it will have defect. So the other strand can be used as a template to correct this damaged DNA. Okay. So double strand breaks. So some type of environmental factors like radiation can cause double stranded breaks in DNA. So that will split a chromosome into 2. So double stranded breaks are very dangerous because large segments of chromosomes are damaged, and the hundreds of genes they contain may be lost if it is not repaired. Okay. So the next important thing is after damage, the DNA the cell has its own mechanism to repair the damaged DNA. Okay. So errors happen during the DNA replication are fixed by DNA proofreading and mismatch repair mechanism. And in case if the damage cannot be fixed, so the cell will undergo programmed cell death, that what we call it as apoptosis, to avoid passing of the faulty DNA to the next generation. Okay. So DNA repair mechanism this can be studied in under 2 topics. So that is where in case of damage during DNA replication, repair mechanism in case of damage during DNA replication, so which involves DNA proofreading and mismatch repair, and another section of DNA repair mechanism is DNA repair in case of damage due to mutagen. Okay. So this involves direct reversal of damage. So mainly, so this process involves excision repairs, which involves 2 mechanisms: base excision repair and nucleotide excision repairs. And one more mechanism is double stranded break repair. So that is called as recombination repair. Okay. So we will begin with DNA proofreading. We'll look more into it. So DNA polymerases are the enzymes that build DNA in the cells. So during DNA replication, most of the DNA polymerases can identify errors in the replication process. Okay. So this is called proofreading by polymerases. So if polymerase detects any wrong nucleotide is been added, so it will remove and replace the nucleotide immediately before continuing with the DNA synthesis. So here you have this process. Let me clean up this. Okay. Okay. So here you have this process. So polymerase. So here guanine, cytosine should have been added. So in this place, thiamine is added. So if thiamine is added, then what happens? So a faulty nucleotide base is added. So polymerase detects this faulty nitrogen base that is being added. So it immediately removes, okay, by exonuclease activity. So polymerase uses 3' to 5' exonuclease activity to remove the incorrect nucleotide base, and the correct nucleotide base is brought in over there. Okay, so one more method is during replication, so that DNA repair can be done by mismatch repair. Okay, so the errors that cannot be corrected by proofreading are corrected by mismatch repair. So it happens right after a new DNA replication. So this mismatch repair's job is to remove and replace the mispaired bases. Okay, so that is those errors which were not fixed during proofreading. Okay, so here you have, so the new DNA is synthesized here. So here in guanine is paired with thymine, which is fault. So guanine should have been paired with cytosine, or thymine should have been paired with adenine. So here you have the faulty nitrogen base. So a section of this DNA strand, faulty DNA strand, is cut and removed. Okay, strand is cut and it is removed, and then a new patch of DNA strand with correct nitrogen bases is added. Okay, so by DNA polymerase. Finally, the ligase, DNA ligase, will seal this strand and corrects the DNA. Okay. So if DNA is damaged by external forces like UV light, chemicals, and X-rays, so this can be repaired by direct reversal of damage, which involves excision repair. So that is base excision repair and nucleotide excision repair, and also by double strand break repair. So what we call it as a recombination repair. Okay. So we will discuss about direct reversal of damage. Some DNA damaging chemical reaction can be directly undone by enzymes in the cell. Okay, like here, so guanine is converted to methyl guanine. Okay, so due to certain chemicals, so this is converted to methylated guanine. So a specific enzymes, a set of enzymes, can remove methyl from this methylated guanine, and they can generate the original guanine back. Okay. So then excision repair, which involves two mechanisms, base excision repair. So here it is a mechanism used to detect and remove certain type of damaged bases. A group of enzymes called as glycosylases detect and remove the specific kind of damaged base. Okay, so here what happens? So the deamination converts cytosine to uracil. So uracil is a faulty base in DNA. Okay, faulty nitrogen base. So this is detected and removed, and so this leaves the base area blank. So the baseless nucleotide is removed, leaving a small hole in the DNA backbone, and the correct nucleotide is placed there. So by DNA polymerase, and it is sealed by DNA ligase. Okay, so the next thing is nucleotide excision repair. Okay, so here in this mechanism, so the nucleotide excision repair mechanism detects and corrects the type of damage that distort the DNA double helix. This pathway detects bases that have been modified by bulky chemical groups caused by exposure to chemicals such as those present in cigarette smoke, etc. Okay, so it is also used to fix some type of damage caused by UV radiation, like, so because UV radiation has the capacity to convert cytosine, and that is UV radiation can have the capacity. This is also used to fix some type of damage caused by UV radiation, because UV radiation can make cytosine and thymine bases react with neighboring bases that are also cytosine and thiamine. So this has the capacity to form dimers that distort the double helix and cause errors in DNA replication. Okay. Okay. So the mechanism here is that is in the first step, the helicase enzyme forms a bubble. Okay, it opens this double helix and it will forms a bubble. Okay, so here there is an thiamine dimer is produced. In this area, the helicase enzyme will form the bubble. It will create the bubble like this. Okay, so then the DNA lyase enzyme will cut the damaged DNA portion. Okay, so then finally the DNA polymerase will bring in the new DNA strand or patch with correct nucleotide base sequence, and it is sealed by DNA ligase. Okay. So the next thing is a double strand break repair. So that is mutation during recombination, DNA recombination. Some type of environmental factors such as high energy radiation can cause double-stranded breaks in DNA. So due to this, what happens is that will split a chromosome into two. So double-stranded breaks are dangerous because the large segments of chromosomes and hundreds of genes that they contain may be lost if the break is not repaired. Okay, breaks. So there are two pathways involved in the repair of double-stranded DNA breaks. So these are non-homologous end joining and homologous recombination pathways. Okay. Non-homologous end joining. So the two broken ends of the chromosomes are simply joined back together. So here what happens? The two broken ends are simply joined back together. So here, so this is not a perfect repair, so this will cause a loss or sometimes addition of few nucleotides at the site where the cut happens. So this tends to produce a mutation, but this is better than the loss of the entire chromosome. Okay, so here you have non-homologous end joining. So here what happens? So certain radiation or certain other mutagen factor, so both the strands are broken. So simply it is sealed. Okay. So finally, homologous recombination. So information from the homologous chromosome. So here an chromosome which is similar to that of the damaged chromosome is used as a template. And so here information from the homologous chromosome that matches the damaged one is used to repair the break. So the two homologous chromosomes come together and the undamaged region of the homolog or chromatid is used as a template to replace the damaged region of the broken chromosome. Like herein, so here this chromosome is broken. So on another chromosome which is having similarity with that of the broken chromosome is brought near. So so this healthy chromosome homolog is used as a template to create the patch and it is sealed. Okay, so this is called as homologous recombination. So this is about DNA damage and repair. In summary, so there are three types of DNA mutation: base substitution, deletion, and insertions. So single base substitutions are called point mutations. So these are the most common type of mutations. So there are two types of point mutations, that is transition and transversion. Okay, and the consequences of point mutations are like the point mutation that occur in DNA sequences encoding proteins are either silent, missense mutation, or nonsense mutation. Okay, so silent means it does not cause any change or it is not having any effect. Ultimately, there is no change in the replication or translation process. Missense means so a different amino acid is coded, so that can lead to a different type of protein or damaged protein. Nonsense means it prematurely stops the translation process. Okay. So mutagenesis the factors that affect mutation here are errors in DNA replication, errors in DNA recombination, chemical damage to DNA, radiation, or spontaneous mutations. Okay, so the causes of mutation are, that is, incorrect base pairing due to tautomeric shift, removal of nitrogen bases, alteration of nitrogen bases, addition or deletion of nucleotides, single strand breaks, double strand breaks, or cross linking or covalent linkage between the bases that can lead to what? The formation of dimers. Okay, so DNA repair mechanisms can be studied in two different sections as we have discussed previously. So in case of damage during DNA replication, so repair mechanism in case of damage during DNA replication, so there are two repair mechanism here in this case: DNA proofreading and mismatch repair. And other section, that is repair mechanism in case of damage due to mutagen, so direct reversal of damage, and then excision repair, base excision repair, and nucleotide excision repair. Okay, so these two come under excision repair. And then double stranded break repair mechanism, that is recombination repair. So these are the references. Okay, so thank you so much. Happy learning.